London, a city where ancient history meets cutting-edge modernity, where Roman walls stand beside glass skyscrapers, where monarchs still reside in palaces, and where over 9 million people speak 300 languages. The red buses, the black cabs, the underground carrying millions daily. This is the London the world recognizes. But beneath the surface lies a story spanning 2 millennia, filled with Romans, Vikings, kings, plagues, fires, and revolutionaries who shaped not just a city, but an empire that changed the world. To understand how London became this global powerhouse, we must journey back through time. Let's discover the remarkable transformation of the city on the Thames. Before London existed, the Thames flowed through marshland and forests. Celtic tribes inhabited this area for centuries, living in small settlements scattered along the riverbanks. The river provided fish, transportation, and trade routes connecting inland Britain to the coast. These Celtic Britons were sophisticated people with their own culture, art, and social structures. They farmed the land, raised livestock, and established trade networks across Britain and continental Europe. The Thames was narrower then, fordable at certain points during low tide. These crossing points held strategic importance, drawing travelers and traders. The land was rich but undeveloped, waiting for someone to recognize its potential. That recognition came with an invasion that would change Britain forever. In 43 AD, Roman legions under Emperor Claudius invaded Britain. They immediately recognized the Thames's strategic value. Around 47 AD, they established Londinium at the first practical crossing point for heavy traffic. The Romans built with purpose. They constructed a bridge across the Thames, creating the focal point for their road network. All roads in Roman Britain would lead to Londinium, making it the transportation hub. Within 2 decades, Londinium thrived as a commercial center, with perhaps 60,000 people making it one of the largest cities north of the Alps. But in 60 AD, disaster struck. Queen Boudica of the Iceni tribe led a massive rebellion, burning Londinium to the ground and massacring its inhabitants. Archaeologists still find a distinctive layer of burnt red clay marking this destruction. Yet Londinium rose from the ashes, rebuilt stronger. The Romans constructed a massive defensive wall, a forum, basilica, amphitheater, and bathhouses. Londinium became the capital of Roman Britain. But empires don't last forever. As Rome weakened in the early 5th century, legions withdrew from Britain. Londinium's grand buildings fell into decay, and the city entered its dark age. After the Romans left around 410 AD, Londinium largely emptied. The Saxons established Londonwic, a trading settlement west of the old Roman walls. Then came the Vikings. From the late 8th century, Norse raiders terrorized Britain. The Thames provided them perfect access to Londonwic, which they repeatedly attacked and plundered. In 871, the Great Viking Army occupied London. In 886, Alfred the Great recaptured London and moved the settlement back inside the old Roman walls, which could be defended more easily. This reoccupied Roman city became known as Londonburg. Alfred repaired the ancient walls, organized the street grid still partly visible today, and re-established London as a major fortified town. The Viking threat continued, and Danish King Canute briefly ruled from London, but by 1042 the Anglo-Saxon line was restored with Edward the Confessor, who built Westminster Abbey and shifted London's power westward. In 1066, William the Conqueror defeated the Anglo-Saxons at Hastings and marched on London. The city submitted rather than face destruction. William granted the city privileges while immediately building the White Tower, the heart of the Tower of London, to dominate and intimidate the population. Medieval London exploded in size. By 1100, perhaps 15,000 people lived within the walls. By 1300, the population reached 80,000, making London one of Europe's largest cities. The medieval city was a maze of narrow streets, timber buildings packed dangerously close, open sewers, and constant noise. The famous London Bridge, completed in 1209, became a street itself, lined with shops and houses rising 7 stories high. Trade was London's lifeblood. Wool from English sheep made fortunes. The Thames filled with ships from across Europe. Powerful merchant guilds controlled trades, and the City of London developed its own government, largely independent of the crown. Medieval life was harsh. Fire was a constant threat. Disease swept through regularly. In 1348, the Black Death killed perhaps half of London's population. Yet somehow, London always recovered, always rebuilt, always grew. The Tudor period transformed London from medieval city to Renaissance capital. Henry VIII made it the center of his Reformation, breaking with Rome and dissolving the monasteries. Their wealth funded new construction. The population surged past 200,000 by 1600. It sprawled beyond its medieval walls, developing suburbs. The Thames became a highway of royal barges and merchant vessels. This was Shakespeare's London, a city of creativity. The Globe Theatre opened on the South Bank, where plays entertained everyone from groundlings to nobles. Shakespeare, Marlowe, and Jonson created works that would echo through centuries. Printing presses spread ideas with unprecedented speed. The Royal Exchange opened in 1571, establishing London as a financial center rivaling any in Europe. Queen Elizabeth I navigated political perils brilliantly, presiding over a golden age that saw England defeat the Spanish Armada in 1588 and begin building its overseas empire. The 1660s brought London's greatest catastrophes that would reshape the city forever. In 1665, the Great Plague killed an estimated 100,000 Londoners, nearly a quarter of the population. Victims developed painful swellings and usually died within days. Red crosses marked infected houses. Death carts rolled through streets collecting bodies. London was still recovering when disaster struck again. On September 2, 1666, a fire started in a bakery on Pudding Lane. Strong winds whipped it into an inferno that raged for 4 days, destroying 87 churches, 13,000 houses, and most of the medieval city. St. Paul's Cathedral melted, the lead roof liquefied and ran down the streets. Miraculously, fewer than a dozen deaths were recorded, though the true number was likely higher. But 70,000 residents were left homeless. Yet this destruction became an opportunity. Christopher Wren proposed ambitious plans to rebuild London as a modern city. Though radical redesigns proved impractical, the new London emerged with wider streets, buildings in brick and stone rather than timber, and Wren's magnificent new St. Paul's Cathedral. The Great Fire, terrible as it was, may have ended the plague by destroying the cramped, rat-infested medieval cityscape. London rose from the ashes transformed. The 18th and 19th centuries saw London become the capital of the world's largest empire. As Britain conquered territories across the globe, wealth poured into London, transforming it into an imperial metropolis. Georgian London developed elegant squares and terraces. By 1800, London's population exceeded 1 million, the first city in the modern world to reach this milestone. The Industrial Revolution made London an economic powerhouse. Factories, warehouses, and docks employed hundreds of thousands. The Thames became the world's busiest port, with ships from every continent unloading exotic goods. Victorian London reached its peak. By 1900, over 6 million people called London home. The city expanded dramatically, swallowing surrounding villages and creating vast suburbs connected by the world's first underground railway, opened in 1863. Grand projects proclaimed London's status. The Houses of Parliament rebuilt in Gothic splendor. The Crystal Palace housing the Great Exhibition of 1851. Tower Bridge completed in 1894. But Imperial London had a dark underside. Charles Dickens chronicled the poverty, crime, and child exploitation in overcrowded slums. Cholera epidemics swept through poor neighborhoods until Joseph Bazalgette's revolutionary sewer system brought sanitation. London was a city of extremes, unimaginable wealth, and devastating poverty side by side. The 20th century tested London through 2 world wars that threatened its existence. World War I brought German Zeppelins bombing the city, the first aerial attacks on a major capital. But these were nothing compared to what would come. World War II brought the Blitz, Nazi Germany's sustained bombing campaign to break British morale. From September 1940 through May 1941, London endured 57 consecutive nights of bombing. Over 40,000 civilians were killed and over 1 million houses damaged or destroyed. Iconic photographs show St. Paul's Cathedral miraculously surviving, surrounded by flames, a symbol of London's defiance. Families sheltered in underground stations. Children were evacuated to the countryside, yet Londoners kept going. Shops opened in bombed-out buildings. Theaters performed, factories continued production. Winston Churchill walked through the destruction, promising that Britain would never surrender. "London can take it" became a rallying cry, expressing the city's determination to endure. When VE Day came in, May 1945, massive celebrations filled the streets. London had survived its darkest hour. Post-war London rebuilt amid austerity and the dismantling of the British Empire. Bold modernist architecture replaced bombed Victorian buildings. In 1948, the Empire Windrush arrived carrying migrants from the Caribbean, invited to help rebuild Britain. This began immigration waves from former colonies that would fundamentally reshape London's character. The 1960s brought swinging London, the Beatles, Carnaby Street fashion, and cultural explosion. The 70s and 80s saw punk rock born in London's gritty clubs. The 1986 Big Bang deregulated finance, transforming London into a global financial center. The city and New Canary Wharf became forests of glass towers. London continued evolving, hosting the Olympics in 2012, surviving terrorist attacks, navigating Brexit debates. Today, London stands as one of the world's most influential cities, a global hub for finance, culture, education, and innovation. Over 300 languages are spoken here, making it arguably the most diverse city on Earth. The city constantly reinvents itself. Former docklands became thriving business districts. The South Bank transformed from warehouses to cultural center. East London shifted to creative hubs. Yet London honors its past while building its future. Roman walls still stand. Medieval churches nestle between modern towers. Georgian squares remain residential havens. This layering of history makes London unique, a city where every era remains visible. London faces challenges: housing affordability, transportation strain, climate change, but history suggests London will adapt as it always has. From Roman trading post to Saxon town, from medieval city to imperial capital, from war-torn ruins to modern metropolis, London transforms but endures. From Celtic settlements to Roman Londinium, from Saxon Londonwick to Norman stronghold, from medieval market to imperial capital, from wartime survivor to global city, London's story is constant transformation. Thanks for joining this journey through London's 2,000-year story. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe for more fascinating histories. What's your favorite London fact? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, remember, the stones beneath our feet hold remarkable stories.